play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
Going over to the negative side of things with who hasn't looked good, particularly against the Patriots, was Jets Zach Wilson. So got off to a bit of a rough start, you could say. First two passes were intercepted. Offense in general didn't look good passing the ball. Running, they looked really good with Michael Carter, though.
Michael Carter looked great.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. The Patriots' offense was just running a lot. Mac Jones didn't really have to do too much, just kind of dink and dunk the way down the field and just hand it off to Damian Harris, let him break 8 tackles and score. But getting on to Zach Wilson, because we talked about him last week, we thought he did a pretty good job in his debut against the Panthers in Sam Darnold's revenge game. But this week against the Patriots, not so much. But Vish, do you think that this is kind of who Zach Wilson is? Last game might have been a gimmick. He's not as good as he was advertised. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think that. I think this is part of the process. I think this is what happens when a bad team starts a rookie quarterback early in the season and they're forced to play Bill Belichick, who obviously always exposes rookie quarterbacks. I thought that Zach Wilson, the stats were bad, and I did watch the game. He was not that good in that game. I think he struggled. I think he was not seeing things clearly. I think his accuracy actually wasn't as good as it's been throughout preseason and the regular season week 1. I thought there were a couple of gimme throws that he missed. But overall, I just thought that the Jets are just bereft of talent. I think, the Jets, their roster is really not that good. I think the Jets have a lot of holes. I think there's a lot of places they need to get better. I think Zach Wilson's obviously got to play better. But honestly, I mean, we can keep going through because we both like Zach Wilson before the draft, and we can talk about how poorly he played, which he did. But to me, I don't know if, Trevor Lawrence is having similar issues in Jacksonville, and he had similar issues against a very good defense like Denver, and against the defense we didn't think that would be that good against Houston. It's just that they don't have talent in Jacksonville. And when you're Trevor Lawrence and you're Zach Wilson, they do make a lot of big time plays every 10 plays or so where you go, wow, that's why they were picked so high. But just the consistency hasn't been there, and a lot of it is because of the supporting cast and the team around them. But he definitely struggled. He definitely played poorly, but I don't know if the other rookie quarterbacks would have succeeded in that situation against Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everybody, the whole thing about Bill Belichick being good against rookie quarterbacks is just that's a well-known thing at this point. If you need more evidence of that, look what happened to the Chargers-Patriots game last year against Justin Herbert's rookie year. I want to say the score was 45-0. And they had 2 special teams touchdowns. They absolutely flew them out. But struggling against rookie or Bill Belichick doing great against rookie quarterbacks. And it was not even that there was one interception I would say that you can't really pin on Wilson. The second
Corey Davis.
That one went right through his hands. You can't fault him for that. The last one though, where he just threw it into no man like that, there wasn't even a guy near there. That was very concerning. But I'm with you on just not the interceptions aside, because those were bad. I thought the accuracy in general, there was multiple overthrows and just general inaccuracies that he is really accurate, and he looked really accurate against the Panthers on numerous different occasions throughout the game. There wasn't really any overthrows, but this game, just throwing to the outside, a lot of inaccuracies and overthrows and all of that. So that was just a little concerning, and maybe he was rattled. He was getting pressured a pretty good amount every time he dropped back, as he will be for the next 15 games. But that's kind of how life is going to be in New York for this year. But I'm really interested to see when they get Crowder back, because Braxton Berrios has been getting a lot of work, and I feel like Crowder is definitely an upgrade over him. So that's something that I want to see. But I still think that they need to do something to get more explosive plays into this offense, because the big plays that they did have there was only a couple of them, and they were just dimes that were 30 yards downfield that they're great throws. You can't keep replicating doing that. So I still think they need to find a way this offseason or this year to get someone who can make something out of nothing. Because right now, maybe the only guy who can do that's Michael Carter, who's their running back, because he looked really good breaking tackles in open field and all that. But there's just a
Yeah.
back element missing from this offense.
Yeah, it's too reliant on Zach Wilson. Like you look at the other side, Mac Jones didn't really do much in this game. I was actually disappointed because I thought Mac Jones was unbelievable week one. We did a topic about it, and I was raving about Mac Jones. Thought this game he came back a little back down to earth. He was conservative. He managed the game, and they didn't need him to do much more than that because they're so much better than the Jets on defense. Their run game is good. All of those things, and Mac Jones just had to not make a mistake, which he did quite comfortably, and they moved on. But you look at the difference in that standpoint, like the Patriots offense, even though it's not like they're overly talented, they can schematically create some sort of advantage to create an explosive play. The Jets did it the once they had Elijah Moore wide open and Zach Wilson it was a more accurate throw would have been nice. He threw him basically out of
Out of
bounds.
mind. Yeah.
He caught the ball, but he had nowhere really to go with it. But otherwise, it feels like Zach Wilson has to make a play for them to have an explosive play. Maybe Michael Carter changes that, but overall, I just feel like the Jets' lack of talent, the Jaguars' lack of talent, both of those things are just getting exposed right now, and that's what we're seeing. That's why these younger quarterbacks who are really talented, who are as good as we thought they were, not playing maybe as well statistically as we would expect or we would like.
And I do think there's one thing that I've noticed, and maybe it's just because the last couple of years, the rookie quarterbacks have come in and just looked fantastic, like the Herberts, like Burrow, like Lamar Jackson did his rookie year, and Baker looked really good his rookie year too. But it's still a learning process, and like every single one of these rookies is still a rookie, no matter how good of a prospect Trevor Lawrence is. Like if you go to a team that has no talent. It's not like the 49ers situation where they were in the Super Bowl a year ago, got unfortunate with injuries and all that. Like, no, the Jets have been bad, really bad for the last few years. The Jags have been bad for the last decade. Like they're coming in as the quote unquote saviors, and it's really a big ask for them to kind of just bring a winning culture immediately. And I think this is kind of something I've thought with Tua is you need to give them a little more time, and I think that's what is happening kind of this year, and that it's going full circle where maybe Tua people were a little pressed against him not performing as well as now. There's a little. I feel like more excuses for the Wilsons, Lawrences out there that have started off struggling.
Yeah, and Tua at least came into a good situation with a good roster and all that.
Yeah.
That roster looked like they were primed to make the playoffs with Fitzpatrick. And even Herbert, that Chargers team, at least they have premier players like Joey Bosa and a couple other guys. Like they signed Bulaga, who's gifted. Keenan Allen's a big time wide receiver. Eckler's a good running back. They had a little bit more there. Cincinnati, they had a couple issues, but even they had a couple premier players like Joe Mixon's big time. And Tyler Boyd's a good weapon, probably similar level player to what Corey Davis is. Maybe Corey Davis is better, but Joe Burrow had to go through a similar type of thing as these two guys. And I thought maybe Joe Burrow played better than both of these two guys have played right now. But I also think that was because Joe Burrow just did more things that was NFL-like in college. So I thought he was better prepared for that situation. He wasn't physically as gifted as either Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, but he was more well-equipped to handle the NFL game faster. And we saw that. But overall, I'm with you. The situation matters so much, and it'll be interesting to see because, like, you see how well Darnold is playing. Like, I still think they made the right move. The Jets did, but the quarterback struggling in New York is a Jets problem. And I like Robert Saleh. I like the hiring. I think Mike LaFleur is the right kind of scheme that you want to run in 2021. It'll be interesting to see if the Jets can get the right kind of pieces around Zach Wilson. But I mean, I think him struggling versus the Patriots is really much ado about nothing. It happens. It's going to happen to other rookie quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence has been going through a little bit. Mac Jones is going to have one game soon where he has a game like this. It's just what happens. It's what the NFL does. I'm interested to see how he plays next week more than anything because him bouncing back will be the name of the game for his career.
Definitely. So that is Zach Wilson against the Patriots.